So yeah, this is the Shadowrun Paris campaign. We will be playing in the Shadowrun world, but using Open Legend rules because Shadowrun is essentially maths. But it has a great world, and we will playing a West Marches style overall sandbox. West Marches means that there is a pool of players, and they will go and take missions as needed, and then make their own schedule where a group of players can meet. Then ask me, the GM, what time works for me, and then we play that session. Therefore, you will most likely not see the same characters in every session. Yeah. And this is the very first session. This is the intro session. And we will just hop right into it. And I will move the players to this. Has the screen changed for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, John Woo, you wake up in a car crash. This is it's a very, very unfortunate situation. Memories come back to you that you were in the middle of Paris, and you were partying, and the guy who convinced you to steal this car with him is next to you in the driver's seat, and he is quite dead.
Oh, shit.
The people in the car in front of you are also very dead. Fortunately, by some miracle, you aren't even injured. But you are a bit fuzzy in the head, but you're okay. It's mostly the drinking. And I mean, there's nothing like a car crash to make you the slightest bit more sober after a night of doing Nova Coke and very, very strong alcohol. So yeah, you are in this car crash. The car you are in is a sort of a large transport van. It's pretty fucked. There appears to be a damage to the roof as well. And yeah, this is what do you do?
I'm gonna try to get out of the street first. And assess. I'm gonna probably get out of the street and assess the situation from the sidewalk. See what's up.
So this isn't just a regular street. You are actually underground. This is the Paris catacombs have been expanded and built into. So you have parts of the city that are on two layers. Right now you're on a street that goes here down below, and you have they're not really buildings, but there is space in the foundation of the massive superstructure above you, and spaces in this foundation were used to put in apartment buildings. This door right here, for instance. Oh wait, actually, I wanted exactly select mode. Come on, roll 20. I just want to make a bleep. I just want to, So usually when you right click as a player, there will be a little bleep, a dot, an explosion on the map to indicate where things are. But apparently, when you're the DM, that's not what happens. I haven't used Roll20 as a DM before, so unfortunately I might have a bit of a problem from time to time. Let me try this out. Right here. This, for instance, is the door to an apartment building, to an apartment complex. Okay. It has like little doorbells on the side, and right here you have what is essentially, there's a big neon sign that advertises that the thing inside here is a kebab shop. But there are no windows to these buildings, so as far as you can tell, nobody has seen what happened yet. That being said, it is very likely that the police are underway. And you can, if you look to either side, to this side or to this side, you can see the outside, like the exit from the tunnel, in about 100 meters distance.
I guess I'll start heading for the shop real quick.
It's clear. The kebab shop. You want to go to the kebab shop?
Yeah.
Okay. Drag yourself there.
Hold on. Yeah.
I will reveal this, and there's another door here, and there's a stairwell here that goes upstairs. But this is the actual entrance to the kebab shop.
Is it open?
Yeah, it is open. So I am gonna reveal this real quick. This is the kebab shop proper. There is this bloke here. There's a bloke here in the corner, eating a kebab, and there is the owner behind the counter who looks at you expectantly, as though he were wanting for your business.
I wasn't driving, right?
No, you were not driving, but you did help the guy steal the car.
And I'm sure it would be found out pretty fast if once the police could hear that the car is stolen.
Yeah, it's not unlikely that they would find out you were involved. I mean, it would warrant some investigation by the police, but yeah. If the police do show up, they are going to, you know. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there is actually a car, this car right here. They did actually see you get out of this car, so there are witnesses to knowing that you were in this automobile.
Okay. So I think I'm mainly gonna play it cool right now. They don't necessarily know I stole the car.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they did see you get out of it. Basically, there's 3 dead people here, so they're gonna tell the police as much.
I think I might want to find a quiet place and call my my fixer or someone.
That might be a good idea. Your fixer is Patrice.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna give her a call.
No, it's a dude. Patrice is a bloke.
I'm gonna give him a call then, and order a kebab quietly.
The kebab shop man yells back to the woman in the back in the kitchen. I don't want to say where she belongs, but she does wear a burqa, and she's an orc also. Yeah, so you call your fixer, and it takes a few beeps of the phone before Patrice actually picks up. And in the background you can hear the noise of a crowd and the clinking of glasses. He appears to be in some sort of drinking establishment. Yes, this is Patrice.
Yeah, Patrice, I'm in a bit of a sticky right now.
I'm sorry, who is this?
This is John Woo.
Oh yes, John Woo. What do you need, my friend?
Well, there's been a bit of a car accident with a car that, well, it wasn't mine fully.
Well, did you steal the car?
I may have assisted in the acquisition of such a vehicle.
Did you do it for a job? Because I do not think you have a job from me right now.
Did I do it for a...
No, you were just out drinking, and there was this bloke you didn't know, and, you know, you were both drunk, and he said, hey, let's steal this car, and you said, yeah, let's do that.
So yeah, it wasn't exactly a job.
What do you want from me then?
Stall the cops so I can get out of here.
My friend,
Any assistance you can send?
I am not the police. You must deal with your own problems. But I will say this. You should get the fuck out of there. Because you do have a sin. I know that you have a sin. And when they can connect you to the sin, they will arrest you and put you underground. So get the fuck out of there.
Right. I'm gonna start moving fast.
Very.
So you
Yeah.
said that up north on the map is the exit of the tunnel?
Yeah, and also down south. It's about 100 meters in either direction. It does go up again.
Which way? Do I hear sirens approaching from either direction?
Make me a perception roll.
Alright, hold on. I can't find the thing, sorry.
It's no problem. It's a bit complicated sometimes with Roll20. It's on the character sheet under mental, the third thing. You have to click the little D20.
I see now. Alright, so I roll it.
You think you might be hearing faint sirens from the south, but you're not entirely sure.
I also, it says for perception 4, should I roll a d10 as
No,
well?
no, Jesus, dude, you just have to. You don't put in a command. Just hit this. I'm gonna roll this for you real quick. There's this little D20. You just click on it, and then it generates this. And it does this as it should. It rolled the D20 and the D10, which you also get because you have a 4, but unfortunately you didn't roll too high, so we're gonna go with a higher roll.
That sounds like a good option.
Yeah. So yeah, you think you hear sirens from the south, but you're not sure the hall and the whole tubes. There's on the ceiling. There's just a whole mess of tubes and struts and shit, and you're not entirely sure. It might destroy the sound a little bit, but you do think you hear sirens from the south.
These struts and tubes, did they look like you could fit in them if someone was to teleport up there?
Yeah, but seeing as teleportation in Shadowrun is impossible.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I mean, if one could teleport there, up there, one probably could get up there, but.
How about with very stunting acrobatics?
The walls are too tight for that, to be honest.
All right, I'm gonna head.
You could try, but
I think it's best just to start booking it north for now, and if I do need to get up there, I can.
Okay. Then we will now change scenes to the to Le Bar du Cobra. Here we are with Andy and Ivan. They're both sitting at the local shadow bar of Clichy, which is the great district that pretty much belongs to Shadowrunners. And this bar also belongs to Shadowrunners. You two can both see your tokens?
No, scene hasn't changed yet.
See, that was my mistake. I didn't drag you over. Now you should be at the Bar de Cobra. You're both sitting at the bar. If you move the map to the right, you get to see the lower levels of the bar. It's not super crowded, but there are a fair bunch of people here. There's of course the beautiful elf at the bar, which is Viper, is the owner of the bar. You have at the door, you have the relatively short but very broad troll Normand, which is the bouncer of the whole thing. The entire establishment is snake themed. Everything, the couches are made with fake snake leather, and the floors have a bit of an Australian feel to them. The cocktail selection is snake themed. They sell snake bites. The pinball machines and arcade things, as you can see to the side, also all snake themed. There seems to be a slight obsession with snakes by the owner. There's a lot of runners here. Patrice is also here. He's a fixer sitting in the booth, just hanging out. Yeah, and you two are just there. Is there anything you want to do before the story happens?
Not that I can think of.
Me neither.
Okay. Suddenly, the door opens, and a dark-skinned dwarf with really... Oh, what the fuck is happening here? Why does he not stick to grid? Come on. And a dark-skinned dwarf runs in. He has dreadlocks and really cool glowing cyber eyes. And from the reactions of the people around in the bar, they turn around to him. Normand gives him a courteous nod. It appears that this isn't just some rando off the street, but somebody very, very important in this community. And pretty much everyone in this bar knows who he is. But you two being relatively new in town, you don't know who he is. And so he comes over to the bar. And he points at Ivan, says, "You," and he points at Andy and says, "And you come with me now."
Okay, that's a interesting way to say hello.
I do not have time for this. You come with me now. There is work to do for the Comte.
All right,
Yeah, okay.
I like work.
Yes. See, this is a man. This is a good man. He likes work. Come on with me. We must do work for the Comte. Well, that was easier than I expected. He leads you out of the bar and into this crisp but not too cold fresh air night on the 1st of October 2071. The sky is a bit cloudy, but you can see the almost half moon. And if you want to check if this is all accurate, you can check if this is all accurate, because I have gotten a moon calendar of the year 2071. Yes, I am that autistic. He leads you into the streets of Clichy, which are, well, let's just say this isn't really the place where the rich people live in France. But it's also not as bad as some of the other sectors like Saint-Denis. There's a lot of old buildings, there's some mixed in new buildings, and sometimes you can see strange shadows hushing through the sky at the top floor of buildings, flying through the streets. And at the beginning, when you first came here, you found them a bit odd and irritating. But you've since grown accustomed to them, because you know that these are the minions of the Comte des Ombres, which is essentially the well, he's like the patron saint of Shadowrunners of Clichy. He pretty much he owns Clichy, and he has made it a haven for Shadowrunners. You are a rigger, right?
I sure am.
Very good, very good. Do you know how to pilot a submarin?
Do I know how to pilot one?
A submarin. Do you know it goes underwater?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can pretty much drive anything, friend.
Very good, very good. And you, he turns over to Ivan. And you, do you know how to handle the weapons like I was told?
Yeah, no problem.
Rio seems very, very happy with how you two are responding to this, because he's not really he doesn't seem to be used to new people in town being this happy of working with him. He leads you to a sort of warehouse directly by the Seine, and it's inside. There is a Middle Eastern-looking woman who, well, she doesn't seem to like him very much. She throws him some bad glances, but there seems to be a sort of professional respect there. And she looks at the two of you and says, "Ah, you two must now work for the Comte, I see."
Well, I work for who pays me.
But have you negotiated the pay yet?
Not yet, but we got time for that.
Rio looks at the woman. She says, "Shut the fuck up, Fatima. We must do the work. These two chamas, they are excellent Shadowrunners. They will be paid according to their skill. And now you, Riga, please do go in first to the submarin." He gestures to you, and there is a pool, sort of, and there is a small submarine, the size of like a school bus, maybe, probably a little smaller. So it's gonna be crammed in there, and he gestures for you to get in there.
Well, all right. I guess we're a little tub of sardines.
Especially you, Ivan. I mean, you are not too tall for a troll, but you are still a troll. And this is not nice. You almost have to lie down to even fit in this thing, because the ceiling isn't too high. It's quite uncomfortable.
I can't operate the weapons in that. There's not enough room.
You are not going to shoot anyone in the submarin, Chama. What the fuck are you thinking? Are you okay? Do you want to go in the submarin?
Fair enough. We'll go.
Okay, very good, very good. So, Riga, you must pilot the submarin. Jack yourself in. The console is over there. I will do some things here.
All right, where are we going, friend?
I will give you instructions as we go along.
All right, man.
So I would like you to give me a influence roll. This is unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
You you jack yourself in, and immediately you notice that somebody hasn't calibrated this thing well. And I will now roll a dice. I will roll a d4 here on my table, and you take 3 points of damage from biofeedback. It's not too terrible. It's a little tingle. You need a second to recover, but you're good. You slowly get a feeling for the submarine. You become the submarine. Your mind pretty much melds. The submarine senses become your senses, and you feel the oppressive weight of water around you, and you are ready to operate this boat. This is something that, if you have played RPGs, this is something that Open Legend does, is that when you fail a roll, you may still succeed, but take some sort of damage so that the story progresses. This is a rule that you always have to do this, but I won't always be doing this. I'll just be doing it when it actually makes sense. So, what do you do? You are now in charge of the submarine.
I will ask for direction from the Dark Dwarf. Tell him, I am ready, sir.
Yes. Do get out first. I have to calibrate something.
get out of the submarine that I just jacked into, or get out of the warehouse?
No, Chama, of course, the warehouse, man.
Okay, man. Well, I'll start it up and get on out.
You hear Rio sort of mumbling to himself, and well, Ivan does hear it, but he doesn't understand it, and he's pretty sure it's not too nice. So yeah, you undock, and you immediately sense the depth of the Seine, and you notice that the ground and part of the sort of walls of the river are made of steel, and you can see the Hortif and Cederkop logos from the massive project that was undertaken to make the Seine deeper. Because, as you may know, the Seine is not really deep enough for proper shipping of big tankers. But since they wanted to change that, the French, they just made the whole thing deeper. And that's why you can drive a submarine through here. Yes, and now Rieu directs you to go left.
Alrighty, I will turn us left.
I would like you to do an influence roll for that.
All right.
To see if you can deal with the current. It's a bit rough. It's a bit bumpy. You know, the Ivan is pressed into the wall, and sort of little screws and stuff. They prickle his skin, and it's not very comfortable. It's not comfortable in the least. But you do get there. You do align with the stream, with the flow of the Seine, and then you go upstream against the current for a while. Rieu continues to give instructions, and you're underway for about 20 minutes through a big bend in the river, for which I would like you to make another influence roll, because there are a lot of islands ahead, and there are some imperfections in the steel, and there's a lot of traffic in this particular area, and it is very imperative that you stay hidden with the submarine. That's the whole point of using this. Just a heads up, I'm gonna have one of the ships roll perception now to see if you're there. Rieu, by the way, looks at you and says, "Do you know why we are using this submarine, Chama?"
Well, I imagine because you don't want to be seen.
Yes, exactly. So do not fucking go too close to the surface, Chama.
Aye, Captain.
Okay, the ship critically failed at seeing you. They didn't see you at all. You could have basically emerged completely. They wouldn't have seen you. Yes, you know, despite almost having been seen by a ship, you get there, and Rieu keeps giving you instructions that are sometimes a bit weird. And as you pass La Concrète, the big wall that surrounds the interior of Paris, which you can't see because the wall isn't underwater, as it just so happens. You feel the river getting a lot warmer around you, because you are the submarine. And eventually, quite abruptly, Rieu says, "No, you have to stop. You have to stop here. You have to stop here. Go in here."
Alrighty then. Another
Well, what do you do?
stop.
No, I mean, you have to go to the right. You have to go to the right. You don't you stop. You have to go to the right.
Well, that's a bit more helpful instruction. I'll go to the right then.
Now roll me perception. Oh, that's good enough. That's good enough. You do find a little spot, a little somewhat hidden bay, where you could park, and so long as no other ship decides to go in there, you won't have any problems. So you park in there, you plug out. It's everything is fine, and the three of you walk into Paris, and you are now inside La Concrète, inside Paris proper. You can see the Eiffel Tower to your left. You're currently in the Grenelle district. You can see the Eiffel Tower to your left. It all looks fairly quaint in this area. You can see the entrances to some stretches of subterranean tunnel nearby, and Rieu is looking at his comlink and seems to be a bit confused.
What's the matter there, friend?
Look, we are here to find a shipment. We must recover the shipment. But the shipment has a tracker, and now the tracker is moving. But the tracker is moving too slow. So we will now go find the tracker and see what is going on.
All right.
And with that, we will switch scenes again. That was just me switching scenes. To here. And we will also change back to our dear friend John Woo.
Who's still running.
Who is still running. Yes, John Woo is now this is now above ground. You can see this is a sort of a thing between streets. To your right is this is a small plaza with a fairly strange surrealist fountain in the middle that is maybe supposed to be a troll with 7 horns, but you're not entirely sure. To your right is what appears to be a sculptor's workshop. And ahead of the fountain is a slim and very tall building that designates itself to be a business hotel. Behind you is not really a sports car, but something that, you know, these Mazda things that aren't really, that try to look like Porsches but aren't really.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. Up ahead is a sedan, and over there is a truck. And you're pretty sure the cops are no longer after you. You went through a few side streets. They have probably lost track of you by now. And yeah, you see chilling by the fountain. Now I have to see this. Yeah, you see chilling by the fountain is a really, really, really big dude. And he looks at you. And he looks at you really strangely. Roll me a perception check.
Sorry, just a sec.
No problem, no problem. Jesus, you have it with the perception checks today. You also notice that there is another bloke. No, I changed the layer like this exactly. There's another bloke who came out from the sedan, and neither of them look too nice. And you also notice that the big guy has a baseball bat. And now there's a dwarf. The guy behind the sedan is a dwarf. The big guy is a human. And the dwarf approaches you. Says, "Hey, you. What are you doing here? Who are you?"
Name's not important. Right now, I'm specifically trying to figure out if this fountain is a troll with 7 horns. What do you think?
I think Americans should never have come here. I mean, you don't have any good crime syndicates. it's pretty clear that he's talking bullshit. It's just, why are you blinking?
I'm blinking.
Yes. He lifts up he has a little handheld screen, and it shows a map of the area, and there's a little dot right where you are, and it's blinking. Explain to me, why are you blinking?
I searched myself.
You find a little round object that you remember was on the dashboard of the car you stole. And by whatever drunk logic at the time, you figured that it was a very good idea to put it in your pocket. Now, you don't know why you did it, but it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Is this what you're looking for? You can have it.
The dude pulls his gun, says, "Where is the fucking temple?"
I have no idea what you're talking about. Can I make a action to like draw at the same time as him?
You can.
Okay.
You can roll for initiative. You should roll for initiative. You just roll. Wait a second. I think you have a special feat that gives you advantage on initiative rolls, but I'm not sure.
Battlefield reflexes.
I don't think that Battlefield Reflexes is that. Battlefield Punisher, Battlefield. This is fucking weird. Roll20. Why do you do this? Reflexes. Battle. See, because the Open Legend site is down right now, there is no Battlefield Reflexes thingy, which is brilliant. But there is the Lightning Reflexes. But no, you don't have a number. This seems to be something different. So never mind what I just said. However, you should roll for initiative. So just make an agility check.
Okay.
I will make a list right here and roll for the initiative of the. Where the fuck is my pen? There it is. You just click on the agility button. Just click on the little dice there, and it'll give you an agility attribute roll. You don't have to type in the roll thing. Just click that on your character sheet. It's much easier. Really.
I don't see that anywhere.
It's click on John Woo. Do you have your character sheet open?
In a separate tab.
No,
it's rolled in. All right.
Like the Roll20 character sheet, not the exactly. Yes, that is what I wanted. That is holy shit. That is some good initiative. That is some really good initiative.
Yeah.
You notice that these two are not the only people that are here. There's this woman back here. There's this weird guy back here also. And out of the truck here in the back come flying two drones. And they seem pretty pissed. If you didn't know any better, you'd say that this was an ambush. And you have no fucking idea who's ambushing you, but you do know that it's a lot of people. The big bloke, he pulls out his baseball bat, and I'm going to be rolling the initiatives for these guys really quick. He has... I have to pick the dice. I'm gonna roll the initiatives off screen because I didn't have time to set up macros, and I like rolling my own dice. So, oh, this is terrible. No, actually, this is a different book. This is just the. You, my friend, are in great luck because these people are not rolling too well. Oh, it looks as though this dice is exploding. I should probably get like an initiative tracker set up, but let's be fair, I don't know how that works yet. Jesus. As far as initiative goes, you're a very, very lucky man. And this is also ooh. Wait a second. Very well. Yeah. Seeing as all these people are closing in on you, you go first because you have an initiative of 29, and that's pretty fucking good.
Last I checked, it was yeah. Quickly ask him right there. Those are friends too.
Of course they are my friends. Everybody is my friend.
Okay then. I'm going to use disarmed on him.
You're going to try to inflict the disarm bane. Okay, then
Yeah.
it should be directly under actions as well. You just click the same button as you did back there, and everything should work.
Trying to find it. There it is.
Oh Jesus.
Nice.
This is agility versus guard. Let me see what this bloke's guard is. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you make that. Yeah. Holy shit. Essentially, you move your arm forward, and a very precise bolt of ki energy hits the bloke right in the hand, and his gun it just flies away, and it lands near the window that is back here. And he looks at you with a strange confusion. He didn't expect you to be an adept. Now you have the girl who is back here. She has a big old gun in her hands, and she will now try to use it to shoot at you. Which is this is a big old scary gun. You don't.
Can I try to move to cover here?
You actually, yeah, you can still move. You still have 30 feet of movement.
So I'm gonna move over here.
Yeah. Was that actually 30 feet? Where were you originally? You were, I think, here. Actually, I think this is the. No, it's not. Yeah, you can make that. Barely. You can barely get behind the sedan, meaning that she will have a disadvantage on her roll to shoot you.
Sweet.
Need to see your guard. Oh, as you run, one of the bullets from her gun grazes you barely at the back of your arm, and you suffer 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Should I modify that for you on the character? Oh no, actually, I just put. Now you had for a brief moment there, you had 211 life points, which is not really. It's not really accurate. So yeah, now it is the big guy's turn. And the big guy, well, he reacts quite slowly, but he still reacts faster than the other guys back here. And let me just look. This is 30 feet. Yes. He crosses the terrain back to here where you are, and he has this huge fucking metal baseball bat in his hand. And he doesn't look too stupid for a big guy. So maybe he will be able to swing it at you. Where is he? There he is. Oh Jesus, that's a 2d6. You best pray, my friend, because this might not end up very goodly. See, we already have an exploding dice. I should set up macros for this, in all honesty. It would expedite things. He raises his bat, and he tries to smash you over the head with it, but at the last moment, you manage to evade, and the bloke pretty much just stumbles forward a bit, and is now somewhat exposed.
Excellent.
Now it's this guy's turn. He can move 40 feet because he's really, really fast. This bloke, he just leaps. He runs, and it's like he's made of water. His implants somehow make him capable of just running over the liquid. He just leaps and flies and rolls on the other side of the fountain, and is now within reach. But seeing as you're pretty much behind the sedan, he will have disadvantage as he pulls out his submachine gun and naturally tries to shoot you in the head, because it seems that all people want to do these days is shoot you in the head. Which, of course,
since the big guy stumbled forward, wouldn't that put him like in between me and the sedan?
Oh no, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't. He stumbled forward at his last step. He is standing right here. And to be fair, there is a chance that this bloke might hit his mate. So hold out for that. He doesn't even come near you. He shoots, and all of the bullets are just swallowed up by the sedan, and the alarm of the car goes off, of course, because why the fuck wouldn't it? The thug, the dwarf who initially talked to you, the befuddled expression has disappeared from his face, and he now walks to his gun and picks it up again, and that is pretty much it. He fumbles around a bit with the loading mechanism, but he doesn't have time to do much else. The two drones right here, they will also fly in your direction. 30 feet. And one of them is actually at an angle where it can shoot at you without incurring disadvantage, while the other one will incur disadvantage. Because the wait, let me look at the map. Yeah, because the statue also irritates its senses, if you will, apparently. And this is the assault drone. Very good. I have to roll this. Oh, dude, we have no. Actually, this is a D10. This is not exploding dice. Yes. The one drone that is closer to you, it hits. Well, it doesn't really hit you in the head, but it does blow a few holes in your hat, and it does slightly graze you near the temple. Like, this is a shot that could have gone really, really bad, really, really quickly, but you only suffer 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Now the other drone fires, but the other drone fires with disadvantage. So we take this one, and this is an exploding dice. Yes. This one actually, the bullets go through the sedan, but they do hit you a lot more. Not only do you suffer 11 points of damage, but you are also afflicted by the persistent damage bane right now, which, let me just look this up real quick. You suffer at a level 4, and therefore, starting from next round, you will be suffering a 1d6 damage per round.
Oh no.
And now we switch back to our other characters, who are also to our intrepid adventurers, who have been following a bleep. I mean, Rio has been following the bleep, and it has led them right here to this very, very interesting location. Why does this one not align with the field correctly? I don't understand. Yeah, you arrive at this sort of strange place. You see this big old truck, this totally inconspicuous truck, where you saw the drones fly out of. And you cannot see what is going on yet. So Rio speaks to you and says, "He's here. He's here. The blip is here." So what do you do? Oh, by the way, you can draw your drone companion in here. You still control your drone companion.
Okay. And we heard gunfire by this point.
Yeah, you've heard the gunfire. You know that a battle is going on. You don't know exactly what is going on in this general area, because your vision is obscured by the by the sculptor shop.
Okay, I will draw my Colt.
Okay. So do you want to join the combat and roll for initiative?
Once I figure out
Okay.
who I need to shoot at.
What about you, Ivan?
Can you use the drone to see what's happening?
Well, he's my friend, so maybe I don't want to put him for bullets yet.
Fair enough. Can I look around the truck to see what's happening?
Yes, you can, but I will have you all roll initiative. You don't have to fight, but you do have to roll initiative, so I know at which turn you all pretty much roll. So all of you make a an agility roll, and I will make an agility roll for Rio. Feats. See this? You actually, you're rolling very, very well. I'm proud of you.
Oh, I forgot one thing with Snyder's lightning reflexes would give him advantage on initiative.
Yeah, that's true. You can roll again if you want, but you did roll quite well, so you can take it or leave it. That is now depends on you. I see you were 12, so I have to put
I'll leave well enough alone.
you 12, and 23 is Andy, and Snyder. It says Cinder, so you might want to change that because I know it's supposed to be named Snyder.
No, it's Cinder.
Oh, it's Cinder. Well then, forgive me. I thought I read something about it in your thing.
I may have misspelled it there.
Well, yeah, and this pretty much once again makes it John Woo's turn. What would John Woo like to do?
I get the damage at the start of my turn, right?
Yes, you do. You suffer 1d6, and be warned that it might explode. What is your current damage? Because I don't think you.
I'm at 3.
Oh shit! This is.
So this determines whether I can do something this turn or not.
Well. Oh shit.
Don't say it exploded.
Unfortunately, it did. Oh fuck, this one misrolled. And this it didn't right now. You suffer eight damage and fall unconscious because I'm not gonna kill you in the first session. I'm sorry, Dice, RNGesus, I'm not gonna kill a player in the first session, okay? Thank you. And yeah, you
probably
bleed.
what happened. I'm moving to like probably shoot the guy, and that's when I pass out from whatever those drones did to me.
Yeah, you bleed out.
Mhm.
You don't bleed out, but the blood loss, and it's too with the alcohol and all that, it's too much. You just keel over. Which would make it the gunner's turn, and the gunnery lady she turns around. She hears that apparently you've fallen, and she relaxes for a bit, but she does see that there's a drone coming from the side, and so she looks at you guys, and it's now Andy's turn.
Alrighty. And I see that. Do I see that she has a big nasty gun?
Yeah, but she does have it pointed to the ground. She seems a bit more relaxed now.
Alrighty, then I'll relax too and kind of just nod and wink.
Well, okay, then we are leaving combat. This is not turning out as I expected. I'm liking it. We're leaving combat. We are no longer in combat. And Rieu takes the lead again. He brushes past you. He's surprisingly quick for someone with really short legs. And he looks over and he sees these apparent gangsters. And the big guy sort of drags the unconscious corpse. It's not really a corpse. The unconscious body of John Woo out from behind the sedan. And Rieu points at the big guy and says, "Hey, you! What are you doing, chama?" And he looks at you, Andy, and Ivan.
I'll fall.
And he says, "I know this guy. You know this guy too, right?"
Do I know this guy?
You have seen him before. You do know that he's a Shadowrunner. You have seen him at the Bar du Cobra before. And you are wondering what the fuck he's doing here.
Well, I'm familiar. Might have seen him around.
Ivan, make a learning roll. You don't recognize him at all. You do know that there is someone with a hat. around with such a weird hat, but the hat doesn't have these weird holes in it, and so this couldn't be that guy. But Rio seems pretty convinced that this is the this is someone he knows. This is a Shadowrunner, and so he turns to these people and says, "Who the hell are you?" And so the main thug turns around to him and says, "We are emissaries, if you will, of the Batuctina Organizacja." Andy, make a learning roll. Oh Jesus. You know that the Batuctina Organizacja is pretty much the organized crime syndicate that controls all of Paris. With a few exceptions, they're the Vori, they're the Russian mafia. They're a very powerful organization under the control of one Alexis Batuctina, and he essentially controls the organized Vori crime in all of northern France. But Paris is his headquarters. And if these people work for him, they are part of a fairly large organization. And they must have had a fairly interesting reason to go and take out this bloke. However, you know that this is a Shadowrunner, and, well... the question is, what do you do with this information?
Oh, well, you seem to have some mighty, terribly powerful friends there, fella. What might you require of this leading individual?
Buffaloguy, John Woo, from which place in the southern United States is he again?
Oh, he's from Seattle.
Oh, so he's not from Texas. I thought he was from Texas. That would make 3 characters from Texas.
That's fucking awesome.
That's not all these Texans. By the way, you can move yourselves freely at this point, so you might want to take up different positions. I will move Rio because Rio has moved sort of here. You can pretty much go where you like to.
I'll be right back. Just a sec.
Okay.
No control over my drone.
You can't. Oh, you can't control the drone. Well, that's not very good. I should have. I will give this to Set dimensions layer, token layer. This is. I have no idea how. Wait, I'm gonna go to edit. Controlled by Xander. Okay, you should be able to try now.
There we go.
Very good, very good. You can control it now. Yeah. This lead Vori guy. He turns to Rio and says, "This man, he stole the shipment." And Rio is a bit baffled by this. Doesn't really understand why a Shadowrunner steal the shipment, but seeing as he's unconscious right now, he also can't really tell. He can't exactly go and ask him. Do you know where the shipment is right now? You would be drawn. He looks at you, Andy.
Do I know? Quite not.
No, you have the drone. Can you try and find the shipment?
Well, I can, but I mean, where do you wish me to start, sir?
That is a good question. We need to get this man awake. Okay. Ivan, you with your skills as a soldier. Jesus, Beast not being here really messed up the balance of this encounter. You with your military knowledge, you understand what needs to be done. You understand that John Woo needs to be awakened. So what do you want to do?
We should try to get him patched up so he can come to his senses, or come to.
Okay.
Does anybody have any bandages or something?
You should have a sort of, but you can just. I mean, you know, this. You could improvise bandages, but you'll have to come up with a way of doing that yourself.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Could using my drone or either anything search the net for any kind of activity with the local police forces?
Well, I'm not sure that you're not really a deckhand. You do have a pretty shit comlink. You
Yeah.
have a Metalink comlink. But you could. Exactly. I figured out what you can do. So as Ivan tries to make a learning roll. Oh, that's good enough. You do manage to roughly hit John Woo in the face and wake him up. But Ryu turns to Andy and hands him the device with which he did the tracking. And he says, "Here, use this to reconstruct the path."
Very well, sir.
So how exactly do you want to do this?
I try to interface it with my drone.
Do you want to jack into the drone, or do you just want to interface the thingamadoohickey?
Just interface the tracker with the drone and see if he can recreate a backtrack path.
Okay, make a logic roll. You can actually actually where you can send the drone right now. And Ivan, as you approach John Woo, the big guy doesn't seem too happy with you patching him up, and he looks at you with very intently, as if to ask, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you patching this man up?
Do you have a problem?
Says, "Yes, I have a problem. What are you doing? I just killed this man. I was going to kill this man with my bat." He holds up his bat, high above his head, a little too high above his head. It's a bit weird, how he's acting. It's like he's intoxicated or something.
We need to talk to him first. When we're done and we have the info we need, you can do what you want.
And Ryu now looks at the yes.
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to do something. Ryu now looks at the dwarf guy, because clearly he is the leader for some unbeknown reason. Yes, and he asks him, This is one of ours. We will need him." And I'm gonna be honest here. This is fucked up. The whole situation is fucked up. But we're gonna get out of this very well. Ryu talks to the dwarf, and the dwarf shrugs and says, He stole the tracker." And Ryu says, "Well, I want him back, Chama. This is one of ours. This is a Shadowrunner. We will interview him, but you cannot have him right now." And Ryu will make a so essentially, Ryu looks at you, Ivan, expectantly, as though you knew what to do now.
I asked John Woo what happened.
Well, John Woo isn't. He's still a bit comatose, but
Oh, yeah.
Ryu looks at you. Come on, lift him. We are going. We are following the drone.
Very well. I'll pick him up, and I follow.
Make a might check. Because this is a whole human you lift. Well, I mean, you are pretty strong, so. While he does, it's a bit difficult, and you can only barely lift him. But you and all the Vori guys are following Andy and his drone. He leads the way. He has the drone in the sky. He controls the drone. You all get in the well, some of you get in the truck. You can put John Woo in the truck, and then you go, and then you drive and walk a little bit through the city because there's not enough seats for everyone, unfortunately. And Andy, your drone spots from afar a very, very interesting scene at the place where the tracker seems to have slowed down. So, which is the position that you extrapolate, must have been the position where John Woo left the automobile. And that is this. It's it's the crash site.
Oh no.
And it's full of police. Now, unfortunately, as you probably might know, the shipment is in the truck.
Alrighty. Okay, am I in the truck with somebody, or am I walking, following the drone?
Well, the guys, you are sitting in the first passenger seat of the truck.
Okay.
But you are following the drone. You're giving the driver, who is a decker, you're giving him instructions.
All right.
As to where they should follow.
All right.
And as you drive through this Paris night, but your drone sees this before, and so you can perceive this.
Okay.
That here underground there is this situation going, and so they unload all of you. They do take John Woo with them right now, and I'm really sorry about this, Buffaloguy, but the dice fell this way. You are currently a hostage of the Vori, and it's gonna be. Originally, I wanted to give you the option to fail this mission, because that might happen. But now you pretty much have to succeed, because if you don't succeed, they're not gonna give John Woo back, and I'm gonna have to do a solo session with him to see how he escapes the clutches of the, which might also be interesting. But the Vori dwarf, he looks at you and says, well, it is your shipment. It was destined for us. You now get it. And they offload you on the sidewalk, and they just fuck off.
Well, all right then.
Ryu turns to you two. He looks a bit baffled, and he says, well, that was a strange situation. Actually, he's not French, he's Jamaican. Listen, I did not tell you everything. In this truck over there is not just anything. It is a shipment of tempo. And both of you know that tempo is the hot new drug which was discovered earlier this year. It's produced mainly in South and Central America, in sort of Aztlan territory, and it's being sold everywhere in the entire world. There's the massive thing called the Tempo Drug War, and though it hasn't hit Paris as hard as many other places, because organized crime is controlled here primarily by the Vori, there has been a lot of issues with increased gang violence. It's a bit like the Prohibition era, or like the meth wars. the drug cartel situations that are going on just all over the world, and it's been going on for the entire fucking year of 2071. And Rio explains that, for better or worse, this shipment was a special shipment of Tempo because the Comte took it from the Vori. He apparently said, give me this shipment, I will do something to it to improve its quality, and then I will return you this shipment. And so the truck was parked somewhere in the middle of Paris, and a chip was put in there, and then the driver left, and then a Vori driver was supposed to pick it up, and then they would have the Tempo. But unfortunately, the truck was stolen for some reason by John Woo, and it went into an accident. And now it is essential that you steal the 6 pallets, the 6 containers of Tempo that is in the back of that truck.
Well, all right. Who runs security here? Like, who runs the police?
This is actually municipal police. This is not a private security organization. There are parts of France. There are parts of France that are run by private security organizations. For instance, Versailles is run by Knight Errant primarily. La Défense is run by Lone Star. You have a lot of Lone Star and Knight Errant establishment in France proper itself. Nanterre is also run by Lone Star. Essentially, the corporations have a lot of Lone Star security, while the noble people of Paris, the aristocracy, the high family, so to speak, use Knight Errant, preferably. But in the inner city of Paris proper, you have primarily municipal police, and for like the extreme situations and on the gates to Paris, through La Concrète, is the gendarmerie, but they are not present. The people, these 4 officers that you can see here, they are municipal police officers.
All right. Are there any, like, are we at like the north side?
Pardon?
Are we at the north side coming down, or
You are at the north side coming down, yes.
are there any like pedestrians crowded around, or is it pretty fair but for the police?
It is pretty clear. There is the occasional passers-by. The police just don't even look at them really, because I mean this is a street and people walk by. But there's not a lot of them because this isn't a very densely populated street.
All right. I'd like to try to nonchalantly pass by to get a look at the vehicle to see if it's still operable.
Okay, then just place yourself on the map where you would wish to go. And Ivan, also, what do you want to do?
How do I go about putting my...
Ivan?
I'll keep looking from a bit of a distance.
Smart man, I would say. Okay, just can you place yourself on the map?
I don't see a way to.
You go into PCs. You click on your name, and then you pull it onto the tile where you want to go.
Oh, okay. Guess I'll start here and then work my way south a bit.
What about your drone?
It'll just kind of stay at my shoulder.
Okay. Just move around how you want. You're not in combat. You can, but I mean, you should be aware that if you too obviously inspect this vehicle, like if you stand around and approach the police, they're gonna get a little bit suspicious. Make a perception roll. This vehicle is probably fucked. As far as you can assess the damage, the whole driver's side has been completely crushed in, much like the driver's side from the other vehicle, and probably the motor is pretty broken. The passenger side is actually not all that destroyed, which is why John Woo survived that, but later not really the other thing.
The head trauma.
The head trauma, yes. The truck itself is fairly intact. There is a part of the. It's like it's not a metal ceiling. It doesn't have a metal roof, but it's just a tarp, and it's ripped and blown off. So, but you can't look inside of it because it doesn't have any windows. As far as that, one of the front left tire appears to be blown out, or at least bent in a way that it wouldn't drive. So you're pretty sure from your knowledge as a mechanic that this vehicle, you could probably repair it in a proper workshop with a lot of spare parts, but this is not a field repair that you could perform under the eyes of the police.
Okay. I'll make my way on, kind of go over to this door and kind of stare at it for a bit.
The door notices that you are staring at it, and a little screen pops up, and there's a fat little dwarf, and he looks at you very intently. He stares at you as he perceives you are staring at the door. What do you want?
Not very much, Philip. And I'll turn around.
Hey, why are you staring at my door? He shouts at you, really intently.
Oh, I was just getting a gander at it, Philip. I'll be moving on.
Fucking American bastards.
Well, at least I ain't in that axe land.
At least I'm not Aztlan. Yeah. The police are completely. They haven't. I mean, they have noticed you passing by, but they don't really give a shit. They looked a bit weird at your drone, but it's not really illegal to own weapons in France anymore, so you should be okay.
All right. Well, I'll make my way out in the south, and can I use my comlink to link up with Patrice?
You can link up with Patrice.
And I'll
Yes.
that truck ain't going anywhere anytime soon without serious help.
I think you're cutting out a lot. No, probably can't relog to. Well, you can. Could you go out of the voice channel real quick and then come back immediately? Because you're cutting out right now.
It may have. Am I still cutting out?
Not as much, no, actually. So what did you say?
I said that truck is not going anywhere anytime soon without some mighty big help.
Okay, what are you talking about? What truck?
The truck with the shipment, friend.
I'm not following. He really does not know what's going on. He didn't set this up.
I may be talking to the wrong person.
You are talking to the fixer Patrice.
Oh, my bad. I misremembered the name. I meant the guy that we were with. What's his name?
Oh, Rio. You want to talk? Oh, yeah. Of course, yeah. He understands.
Sorry.
So it's not as if. That is unfortunate, but we only need the tempo. We need to find a way to get the tempo out. And if we can do that, steal it out from under the police's noses, it shouldn't be a problem. Really, I can take care of the drones, but I cannot track the humans.
Well, only thing I can think of is maybe some kind of distraction.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. It's you should hold like a little conference, I think, because there are several ways with which you could pull this off, and if you come up with a cool way to pull this off, you could pull it off also that way.
They need an extraordinary amount of luck to do this, right?
They're not really. They just need a smart plan.
I'm just saying, like, I would need luck to survive it because they need it to pass, right?
Actually, you could invoke your thing now.
I am invoking Lucky.
Yeah, you are invoking Lucky. You wake up and look at this big old troll with the. Well, it's not. You've seen bigger trolls in your life. This one's quite athletic. His right horn is broken off, and he has this very interesting long flowing hair. You definitely remember having him seen before at the Bar de Cobra.
Oh god, the pain.
Yeah.
Hi there. Where am I?
Now it's your turn to react now, Ivan.
We're just north of the tunnel. Andy just went in here, but I haven't seen him since.
Which tunnel?
We were led here by Andy's drone. There's supposed to be some sort of shipment in here.
As long as it's not, and I list whatever street it just so happens to be, we should be fine.
I'd say your luck hasn't run out yet, but you are awake. You can't really. You could move around, but you couldn't really. Like you could, if supported by Ivan, you could move around a bit, but not really by a lot.
Oh, God. So I look, and I probably see what's going on out there, see where we are. I'm like, dude, we have to get out of here.
What we could do is put you down here and attend the police to you, saying that you're injured, and they'll be distracted.
Maybe, or we could not show my face around this place again.
So, there is a chance that the police would find you, but they don't have any video footage of you. You were just described to them by the witnesses. And they certainly didn't describe a dude that is bleeding out.
Right. So yeah, this.
You should probably take off the hat, though.
I say, all right, hold on to my hat.
Okay.
And yeah, we can do that. I start, so you get to say, I'll just start screaming, and oh god, the pain.
Make a deception roll with advantage 3 because you are actually in pain.
All right.
To make a roll with advantage or disadvantage, you go to your character sheet, and you when you hover over this dice symbol that you would usually use, you can set advantage or disadvantage. So just click on that number. You just click on the 2, and then you just click the dice number.
2 or 3? Do you want?
2. Or did I say 3? Did I say 3 or 2?
You said 3.
Then do 3.
All right. Hold on. Let me find it again.
Ah, that's wait. This I think you rolled advantage 2. No, it's
No,
advantage
it's-
3. This is weird. This is weird, roll 20. So yeah, you actually the police turn around to you, and this bloke right here turns around to him. First, he sends his drone forth first, and then he follows. And he winks over this guy right here. Says, "Come on over. Let's take a look at this." And they both approach you with their drone. Let me clear the drawings and move them real quick. Clear and get the tokens. So they're both with you. How far away are you from the crash site?
I don't know, like, what did we plan? Like 30, 40 feet?
Okay. That's okay. Like they're approaching you now, and one of them is asking from afar, what seems to be the problem? No, actually, you know what? He talks to you in French, but you do know French, so what seems to be the problem?
I got shot at. Oh god, pain. Oh god.
They look surprisingly unfazed by your pain. While these two are distracted, what do the other two people want to do?
I was hoping that was going to cause a little bit more of a distraction.
I'm good. Can I use a presence roll to make a scene of this?
You can use a presence roll to make a scene of this. You are quite successful. These police guys, they one of them speaks into his walkie-talkie, and this other guy right here, who seems to be someone with actual medical knowledge, comes running over to you really fast. And the two of them do look a little bit more concerned now. They seem to think that you are actually in pain, and they do have basic training, and so they look at your wounds and they put you in like a stable position. Now they see that you are severely injured, but you are no longer bleeding, which is a good thing.
That's good. So I'm at what, 1 probably?
You are at one hit point now, but wait a second. Actually, did you record how much you lost? Otherwise, I am just going to give you. Do you see the thing in the middle
did.
where it's
I went over like 2 to 3. To
Okay.
Like in the negatives.
Give yourself 4 lethal damage then. And how lethal damage works in Open Legend is basically that you have 4 lethal damage now. I'm going to put it in real quick. This is your lethal damage. And this lethal damage can only be cured by people with extraordinary healing feat. Or you can basically buy this. Buy healing for lethal damage, because, I mean, you're a Shadowrunner and you know some Shadow Doctors. And what lethal damage means is that this is the... your HP maximum is reduced by 4 points right now, so you can only heal up to 20 HP at this point in time, until you get that fixed. So yeah, these guys are distracted, and meanwhile, you two remain here, remain down here. Actually, Andy, how far away are you from the crash site now? I mean, you did leave the tunnel, did you not?
I headed south. I kind of stopped, turned around when I started talking to Ruin.
Okay.
If I see the majority of the police start leaving the area, I'll go back over to this other car, where this other cop is standing, and
Yeah.
I'll start kind of. Well, I'll show you. I start speaking in French with my southern accent.
What do you say?
Good sir, that is a beautiful car you have there.
He looks at you with a he seems a little bit flattered, but he also frowns, and he doesn't seem to understand what the fuck. Are you coming onto him? Are you trying to do you like men in uniform? What the fuck's going on here? Thank you very much. It is of course a police issued car. I did not choose it, but I agree. It is a very nice car.
What kind of power you got there under the hood?
He's not a mechanical expert, but he does start listing off some stats that he knows. Roll me deception. Yeah, you do actually manage to tangle him up in a conversation. Meanwhile, Ryu gets the message and tries to take out the drone. Where would it be? It would be here. Yes. Yes. Ryu manages to... But the drone is still hovering there, but it won't respond to anything that other people in the party might do.
And I will walk up to the truck. And
You cut out there. What do you do?
I try to get the shipment out, and I rip the tarpaulin if I have to.
Right. So, from which side are you trying to get the shipment out? It's a big tarpaulin. It's not open, but it can be easily unfastened.
In that case, I'm going to do it from the side where I'm standing now, and
Okay.
try to do it from the side.
In there are 6 flat grey plastic boxes with lids on them, and all of them are full of sacks of sort of very pale greenish powder, which you recognize as, well, I mean, you assume their tempo, and make a learning roll. You recall that tempo is a recent drug, and nothing more about it. Yeah.
Do we know if the police cars are locked or not?
The police cars should. I mean, why would they lock their cars? They have to get in them quickly.
Oh Jesus!
What are you planning exactly?
Well, we've got to get the shipment out of here. I could probably lift them, and a police car could probably fit them.
That is true. Do you want to steal a police car?
That is what I'm thinking, yes.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting. Are you all okay with this?
Not really much we can do to stop him if he wants to really do it.
That's true. It is a badass plan, so if you roll it right, you will be able to do it. So yeah. Do me a might check to see if you can lift all 6 of these boxes, unless you want to do them one at a time.
We'll see if I can do all together.
Okay.
Oh,
That'll do it.
That will do it. You lift them, and you nonchalantly just walk over to which police car?
The top one.
The top one. You nonchalantly just walk over there. Fuck. And, you just calmly open the trunk like this is your vehicle. Nobody seems to care because the street is pretty much empty. The security drone down south sort of turns around and looks at you, and the central light, one of the lights blinks once, one of the side lights, and it's as though it was giving you like a cool wink, as though Ryu was giving you a cool wink. And you place the stuff in the police car, and make me an agility roll. Okay, and you close the thing down, and you push down on it, and you don't close it in a way that would have made any noise. And now you're just standing there, and you just took a lot of some of the most sought after drug in all of Shadowrun at this moment in time, from a crash site into a police car.
I think it's time to get in and get out.
Okay, do you want to drive the car?
It would be best if Andy did that, probably. Can I reach him through comlink without alerting the other officer?
Yeah, you can go directly. You can practically speak it to like a headset, and only he would hear it.
Very well. Andy, come here. We're leaving.
So Andy, how are you gonna make sure that this policeman doesn't look where you're going?
Well, let's see here. Where is it? It's not. Let's see. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna throw one of my flash projectiles and run for the car.
Okay. You're going all in, it would appear. Make me an agility check.
Come on, baby.
Oh, damn! That is very good. Completely unexpectedly, out of the blue, you just pull the flash, and the police officer just does not know what the fuck is going on. He is completely stunned, and with the grace of a gazelle, you leap over the police car practically, and run over to the other car. And both of you get in there, and now make me an influence roll.
Well, let's hope we drive on the right side of the road. Or not.
Oh, this is unfortunate.
Andy!
You plug yourself in, and you stand before. Well, you now sort of instead of going directly into the perception of the vehicle, you now find yourself in sort of semi-matrix space that seems to be an internal part of this vehicle, and you find yourself standing before a huge gate.
Oh shit.
And the gate seems to be locked, and you know that on the other side of the gate is access to the vehicle. Meanwhile, I'm gonna give you a chance. Give me another deception roll, John Woo.
All right.
Having patched up your wounds, the policemen turn back and look at their car, and they're gonna do a perception roll. Not each one of them, but they're gonna do a joint perception roll. I have to warn you, they're police officers. They're pretty damn skilled at perceiving shit.
Why couldn't they be stormtroopers?
Well, I mean, they might just not be able to shoot, yet, but they do see that there are people in the car that shouldn't be there right now, and they get mad. They don't get turned back to you, John Woo, but they put up their guns and point them at the car, and shout in French that you should get out of the fucking car, which of course Ivan doesn't understand, but the message is pretty clear. What do both of you do? Andy first, because you are in cyberspace and shit in cyberspace goes by faster.
What do you want to do? I'm sorry.
You are first to act because you are in Matrix space, and Matrix space goes by a little faster.
Well, I would like.
So you are standing before this huge gate, with your Matrix persona. What do you want to do?
I would like to try to bypass the gate.
Okay. Give me a logic roll.
Goodness gracious.
You try to fumble around with the gate, but it turns red and it like a huge face comes out of it and starts to scream. And you get violently jacked out of the Matrix place, and you suddenly find yourself back in the car, which has started howling like mad. The sirens are going off, and it feels like it's being stolen. The car has noticed that someone's trying to steal it, and now you have 3 police officers looking at you real strangely. And what is the plan now?
I imagine there's no manual way to drive this vehicle, or is there?
I mean, there is a manual way to drive this vehicle, and you would have been able to use it
Before.
If the guy if you hadn't just burnt your luck as a party collectively, because now the car knows that it's being stolen and it's in lockdown. So you can't use the steering wheel to drive it.
Alrighty. Quickly contact. I keep forgetting his name.
Ryu.
Ryu. And let him know we're having a little bit of an issue with the police car.
I can see as much. It is a problem, all right, but it won't be a problem for long. Now you could get lucky. Now you could get lucky. You do get lucky. The drone that is flying behind these 3 police officers that are approaching your car turns around and just flies into one of them. And they're completely baffled by this whole thing. And at the same time, the manual lock on the vehicle is lifted. It is still blinking, but you hear a click, and you figure that you can now drive this vehicle the traditional way, though you can't drive it through the Matrix.
And I will do so.
Okay, very good. Basically, what do you do now? You sit at the steering wheel of the car. How do you start? Where do you drive?
I'll have to back up onto the curb a little bit, turn sharply to the right, and go north. Try to pick up Ryu.
What about John Woo?
Yet.
You'll be fine. We'll come back later for him.
Well, then give me an agility roll to steal a fucking police car.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh shit! That's a really. How many of those exploded? Oh Jesus Christ! I am impressed. I am impressed by this roll. You pull that shit off without a hitch. You just go around the corner. The policemen turn around and they're a bit baffled and they shoot after the vehicle. But one of the bullets just hits the back thing. But nothing really penetrates. And you drive out. You make a quick stop to pick up Rieu. John Woo, how do you react to this vehicle just passing you by like you're not even there?
Zooming fast. That's probably my. I am probably playing comatose with the, or waiting for an opportunity to GTFO. And seeing as how the three policemen are now distracted, I might pick myself up and just start calmly walking south.
Make a fortitude roll.
Nope.
No, you do not. You could claw you could crawl across the floor. That's the maximum of movement you're capable of in your injured
I probably take 3 steps then collapse again.
Yeah, pretty much. But all things considered, the police doesn't seem to have made the connection that you deceived them. That this was all a play. They do actually think that you were genuinely in danger and do probably plan on getting back to you and getting you to a proper hospital in due time.
All right.
This is some fucked up shit. Meanwhile, in the police car, you have Andy in the driver's seat. You have Ivan on the side. You have Rieu behind Ivan, and the drone that is apparently also in the car, sitting next to Rieu. Also, almost as big as him, as it turns out, because Rieu is not particularly large. Now we will drive to Paris. Where do you want to go?
Well, Ryu, should we return to the little mole?
Tis probably best, yes. Tis probably best, but you must go fast.
Well, that's my favorite thing to hear. And I
Now,
accept
yes.
quickly.
Ooh, yeah. Now, the thing is, you are driving a blinking police car, so vehicles will get out of your way. All that being said, this thing is broadcasting really, really, really hard that it is being stolen, and pretty much all police cars in the area are trying to fight, trying to cut it off. And as you drive forward, while you come to a crossing, and there's at least 3 police cars coming in from the sides. So roll me agility.
Oh.
Oh, that is not the best thing. You try to drift between them and hit one of the cars with your rear.
Oh,
And the whole vehicle just shudders and stutters. It did not like that. And though you do manage to get past this, well, it's not really a proper blockade. It's just a couple vehicles trying to blockade you. You've lost quite a bit of speed, and you will need to recover this quickly. And the vehicle is now somewhat damaged in the back, when you consider that it was also shot.
all right.
And you have now have police on motorcycles. Yeah, a policeman on a motorcycle coming up from the not from the driver's side, but from the right side.
Can I shoot him?
From behind. Yes, you can shoot him.
Then I will.
Give me a damaging attack with your shotgun.
Oh, nice.
Very well. Though you do not, some of your pellets do hit him, and he swerves to evade them. But it's superficial damage. He is somewhat armored, and the vehicle is pretty strong.
Andy chuckles, and then he says, 4 wheels beats 2, and I'll try to swerve into him with the car.
Make me an agility roll.
Goodness gracious, are you kidding me?
He evades with great grace, but does come into the line of fire of Ivan once again. So if you do want to shoot him, you will get advantage 1.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
What the fuck, RNGesus? Did you really want to fuck this session up? You miss him, and he doesn't even seem to notice the shot. But all this swerving has slowed him down quite a bit, and you are now fast approaching the submarine.
We really take him out of commission.
Yeah. So you're now like maybe 50 meters from the place where you have the submarine docked.
Did I try to swipe at him with the car one more time?
Oh no, he's behind you.
Oh, okay. Like,
He is now behind you, and he's trying to catch up.
how closely behind me?
It's about 10 meters, so he is pretty near.
Okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to let him get closer, and then when I think he's close enough, I'm gonna slam on the brakes.
Okay. Once again, give me an agility roll.
Oh my god, are you kidding me
What the fuck is even going on?
right now?
We can declare that a dodge roll and say that he failed so bad that he fell into the car, right?
Let me think of a way to turn this into a win while to also having you lose something. The guy pretty much just slams headfirst into the fuck, what's the thing called where you put things in the car? The trunk. He slams headfirst into the trunk. He flies over the car. But he did also slam into the drugs.
Oh.
And the trunk of the car does seem to be a bit ruined. And the thing that holds the wheels together in the back, it's pretty damaged. And you can see sirens fairly far in the distance, maybe 100, 200 meters away, that are police cars approaching.
Can the car still make it to the submarine?
The car is you're pretty much almost there. You're about 30 meters from it, and you're still rolling. And you could, the car is still functional. It's just not very good at functioning at this point.
Okay, we'll limp closer and then try to retrieve the goods out of the now ruined trunk.
How will you do that? If you try to open the yes. Well, the trunk is first of all breaking. How do you want to do that?
Could my droid instead try to go through the seat?
Pardon?
I would like to have my droid attempt to go through the seat.
Oh, that's a very interesting tactic. What I was actually asking is, do you want the trunk to be facing to the police or to the dock?
Oh.
Because if you wanted to face to the dock, you would have to do a higher DC agility roll because you would have to swerve first.
No, I'm just trying to get the stuff and get out.
Yeah, okay. So you do me an agility check. Ah, for fuck's sake!
Are you, again?
You You don't entirely manage to break in time,
Oh, gee.
and the car shoots over its goal quite a bit, and it pretty much it lands directly next to the submarine because it goes a bit down. There's a stairway. It lands directly next to the submarine. It's almost it's just about ready to tip over into the water. Yeah, and it's you're halfway fucked. And the car is now the hydraulics of the car. They scream, they pop out. They do not want to do this shit anymore. They were not built for this type of action movie chases.
I would like to try and get out of the car and hold it so it doesn't go into the water, or maybe pull it to a slightly better position next to the submarine.
Very well. Do a might check.
And can I assist him with that?
You are on the side that is directly next to the water.
Oh, okay. I get it.
So you couldn't get out as easily. While you do not manage to pull the whole thing away, you did put it in a fairly stable position where it's no longer in danger of tipping over. All that being said, you didn't. There might be problems to getting the submarine out properly because the water here is a bit shallow. Also, you can hear brakes going from upstairs as the police cars are braking.
Alrighty. Andy is going to attempt to get out of the vehicle, and Snyder is going to try to go through the seat to get at the goods.
Yeah, Ryu also gets out on his side of the car. I'm just going to put this. Well, now it's completely pointless to do that now. So yeah, you should. Where do you want to? How do you want to leave the vehicle?
Through the passenger's side.
Okay, so it's just I'm not going to have you roll anything for that. That's simple enough. Now's the question: how can you get the goods out and into the submarine before the police shoot you?
I can try to stall the police while Andy gets the drugs out.
How exactly do you want to stall the police?
Shoot them.
Okay. You can get ready. Do you want to? Which weapon do you want to use to shoot them?
It's indoors, isn't it?
No. You're outdoors. It's like it's a sort of quay. The submarine is in a little bay, and then you have a wall that goes up, maybe like 4 meters, and up there is the street, and there's a small army of policemen are approaching. You hear the car doors clacking, and you expect them to look over the ledge with weapons drawn at any moment.
Then I'll go for the shotgun.
You go for do me a. Actually, it might not be best if you did a damaging attack with the shotgun.
Good point. I think I will take a stun round.
Okay, then roll the dice for that. Oh, fucking hell.
Hello and welcome to Critical Fail, where everyone rolls like Will Wheaton.
This is just ridiculous. I think the only people who have rolled well tonight are the enemies.
I got one good roll. One.
I got that good agility and performance check.
That's true. Basically, you do shoot up, but you instead of shooting sort of up at the police and stalling them, you shoot at the wall. And there's a little crackle in the wall, and that is pretty much it. Yeah, this is so fucked up. How are you proposing to get the drugs out of the trunk and into the submarine, other people?
I would like for Snyder to kind of rip through the back seat.
How would he rip through the back seat?
With his appendages.
Oh, so he has like a sawing appendages. Shit.
His arms, basically.
Okay. We can make that happen. Have him do what is good for this. Probably an agility check.
Are you fucking shitting me?
No, that is okay. He did bore a hole. Also employing the fire, very careful fire from the gun that he has.
Yeah.
He did put a bit of a hole into the backseat that is good enough to pull the drugs through, but only one packet at a time.
Well, then we'll start like a assembly line thing where he pulls one out, hands it to me, and I'll hand it to Ryu.
Okay, it's 6 packages, and now you have police standing at the verge, and they have their weapons in their hands, and in French they're demanding that you put your hands up and surrender to the force of the law.
Yes. I look at Ryu and see if he reacts.
He seems to be a little bit confused. But then he looks around, and he winks at you. And then this is once again he might pull you out of the situation. There seems to be a sort of panic among the police officers. They look at each other and they retreat a few steps, which might buy you guys a few extra seconds to get this job done.
We start shoveling them out as quickly as possible.
Ivan, what would you like to do?
Is the trunk damaged to a point where I could tear it open?
You could tear it open, yes.
Then I will try that.
Okay, then do me a might check. Oh, for fuck's sake. You do manage to open it, but the car is now, because of the force of your opening it, the car is now once again at the point at which it will tip. 2 of the boxes, one of the boxes, Andy has one of the boxes now, and is currently handing it to Ryu. Cinder has another one of the boxes, and there are 4 boxes still in there. If this thing tips over, it will tip over onto the submarine.
I think I'm going to try to hold the car down so the others can get the drugs out.
Okay, then give me another might check. You actually do manage to hold the car down, and now in a better position. Andy, what would you like to do now? Because now you can lift out multiple of those at once.
That is what Snyder will do, 2 at a time, and Andy will haul them over to the submarine.
See, if you had said all 4, I would have had you roll might. That was a very smart decision that you made right there. So yeah, basically, some of the police are now going to start shooting at you, and I hope you're really lucky because well, they are quite far away. But 3 of them are actually gonna start shooting now.
Nice.
And the first one has his sights set on Rieu. And he pretty much he hits the submarine, but it just bounces off the hull of the submarine. The second one has his eyes set on Ivan, the big troll guy with the big weapons who just shot at them, and he thinks it's only natural to return the fire. What is your guard score, Ivan?
18.
Okay, so he also he does not hit you, but there's a slight impact fairly near to you, and a bullet ricochets against the car, just a few centimeters away from your hand. And another one of the cops is shooting at Andy. What is your guard score?
15.
Oh, he does just hit you. You feel a sharp pain as a bullet enters your arm, and but it's not through the bone. It's just through the upper tricep. It's almost a graze, and you take 3 points of damage. But it's not a terrible thing. You can still act. But you will have to perform an agility check to not drop the boxes. Finally, something works. You don't drop the boxes. Now all the boxes are in the submarine. Rieu has already climbed in.
I will attempt to climb in and jack in while Snyder gets out of the car and follows. Or Cinder. Now you got me calling him Snyder. Thanks.
Sorry about that. What about you, Ivan?
I will get into the submarine as the last one.
Okay, then I will have the cops do another attack against you. If you want, you can counterattack.
I will do that.
Do you do what? Do you want to do a regular weapons attack or a inflict a bane?
I think I'm going to go for flash.
You're going to go for flash rounds. Then roll me flash rounds. Let me check if this actually hits them. It does actually. Two of the guys who were about to shoot you, they seem a bit. You don't exactly hit them, but the flash from these things blinds them enough for a moment that they can't get their sights on you properly. But one of the police officers does actually try and fire at you. And oh shit, motherfucker! Let me just do the math on this real quick. What your guard score is 18, right? It's minus 18. This guy, he really hits you. He hits you square in the chest. Your thick orc musculature, you feel your thick troll musculature rip apart as he shoots onto your ribs, and you take 17 points of damage.
Fuck.
You are now not in a particularly. I mean, you are still. Wait, actually, it's 26 minus 17. No, you haven't exactly. You have 9. You're not doing so well at this point. You're in very sharp pain, and you half drop down into the submarine. But you do manage to close the hatch above you. And now it is back to Andy with an influence roll to take control of the submarine.
Oh my god.
You do manage to plug in without great issue, but you do notice that some of the sensors don't appear to be responding as well as you would like them to. Meanwhile, you, Ivan, are suffering. Give me a moment. Yes, you are now slowed. It's the pressure of the bullets is pretty heavy on your chest, and while you don't feel like you're bleeding too much, you will need medical attention, and you can't move too quickly right now because breathing is too difficult to do that.
A beer, please.
So yeah, what would you like to do to the submarine?
Back it out and submerge, head back the way we came.
Okay. Do a perception roll. Oh, you do notice 2 police boats on the surface that are trying to come after you, and they will. One of them will try to send a blast of arcane energy through the water, because obviously you can't just throw a fireball in the water, because it appears as though there is a mage on board this ship. Because I've noticed we haven't. There would have been the possibility to encounter some magic in this little misadventure of ours, but unfortunately that didn't happen. That being said, there is a mage who's sending a bolt of magic after the submarine from one of these police boats, and he's going to Oh, fucking hell! Are you serious? Both dice again? Oh, Jesus Christ!
That doesn't
Oh, for
sound good.
fuck's sake! What is happening?
I'm not liking the sound of that.
So here's the thing, right? Literally 5 of the D6s exploded. So we have 14 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 3. Minus 12, which is the submarine. That is 35 damage to the bloody submarine.
Ooh.
And you feel the whole thing just shiver. It just vibrates with impossible force, and everyone inside is temporarily deafened. You are all afflicted with the deafened bane. You can't hear anything except this massive. It's impossible, and some cracks appear in the wall, and water is starting to flow in. As the submarine is still functional, the motor has not been affected, and you can still pilot it, but you do have disadvantage on perception rolls now because the sensors are, they have a little bit of a problem at this point in time. So yeah, you have these police boats upstairs, which you can't really do anything about because this is not an armed submarine. How do you wish to escape these cunts?
Well, I'm hoping that wall will be a little bit of a hindrance to them.
Well, not really, because the wall isn't above the water. I mean, there's a gap in the wall where the river is.
Okay, I misunderstood.
No, you don't need the submarine to go underneath the wall. You just use the submarine to go underneath the wall because otherwise you would see the ships from the
I get you.
The idea was to use the submarine for stealth, but that situation has passed.
Yes, it has.
RNGesus has decided not to give you that gift of stealth. But to be fair, you're not at the bottom of the thing. So you could dive deeper and get yourself pretty much out of reach from the police boats. Possibly hide. You can't really be sure about that. There is an island coming up ahead. Is the Île Saint-Germain. If you do give me, if you succeed at an agility, actually a deception roll, you will be able to fool them.
Alrighty, then we will try that.
Please give me deception. Please roll high.
Expect it.
Please roll high. You just rolled high enough.
Oh, thank goodness.
Essentially, they think you go down the main part of the Seine, the large river part, but in fact you go around the island and manage to find a quiet spot underneath a bridge where you can settle down for a bit. Now you have the problem that you have a hurt troll, and this hurt troll, he's getting mad because he has a disadvantage. You don't actually have that disadvantage, do you, Ivan?
I don't think so, no.
So now, you can decide what you want to do now. You have bullets in your chest. They're not immediately lethal because you are a motherfucking troll. You're a Fomori, but they're not too comfortable, and you're in a very, very confined space with a bunch of people you don't really know.
Yes, I would really like Andy to floor it out of here, because I'm not going to be okay in this sub for much longer.
Okay. Andy, what do you want to do? If you leave immediately now, you will come into the problematic situation that you might be rediscovered. Right now you have a quiet spot, you can wait this out for a couple minutes. Calm down. It would be difficult to move this submarine and remain hidden at the same time.
Are we outside of the city center, like where we were?
You are through the wall. Yes, you are now in Boulogne, in the small channel that goes by the Île Saint-Germain. You would have to go around the bend and ride for another maybe 15 to 17 minutes to return to the Bureau de Poste, which is where you picked up the submarine.
And you say we're under a bridge right now?
You are under a bridge right now in like a snug pocket where they're not looking for you there, and they're not looking for you in this part of the river at all. So,
would I be able to use my favor to have a vehicle temporarily dropped off atop the bridge?
Boulogne is controlled by Knight Errant and not Lone Star, but the rules say that you can call in a favor. This is a good place to play your points now. To be fair.
Play my points? What do you mean?
Yes. Like your perks and all that. Jesus Christ, this is. What exactly would you wish to be done? You could probably request a vehicle be deployed to there as a favor.
Then I'd like to do that, and then use that vehicle to get back to where we need to be, and just to hell with the submarine.
But what about the drugs?
Put him in the car.
Rieu is not too keen on this idea. He would very much like to return the submarine. Because it is a very expensive submarine, and he doesn't really trust that you're working with fucking Lone Star.
Well, I mean, you can drive it if you like.
He thinks about it for a moment.
How about this, fella? I'll come back and get it with you at some point. But at the moment, I'd like to safely make it back to wherever it is you want to deliver these drugs.
Do me a persuasion roll. He shakes his head and says, "No, I will stay here. You can go if you want."
So, you're going to stay here in the submarine with the drugs and no pilot?
Yes. And if you do not come back, I will have Shadowrunners on your ass. Shama.
The whole point of getting this vehicle is to help you out, friend.
We must do it with the submarine. The submarine belongs to Fatima. We need this submarine. This is our submarine. Do you know how expensive a submarine is? You can go if you want. You can go. I don't care.
I'll help you out, friend.
Take the former with you.
I'll help you out. We'll just
So,
wait for a bit, and then head on out, leave the vehicle. Or give the troll the option to take the vehicle. And
yeah, you can still, Ivan, you can still go up.
to get
Yeah, I'll take the vehicle.
Yeah. There's after like a minute or two, a small car. It's not a small car. It's just a sedan. It doesn't even have any Lone Star markings on it, but you, Andy, recognize this as an undercover Lone Star vehicle. And it's a bit shady for a Shadowrunner to be working with Lone Star because Lone Star are the cops. But I mean, you know, discretion. And there's a bloke in there. He's like a troll police officer, Lone Star bloke, and he looks at you, Andy, and says, "You owe us for this one. You will have to pay us back for this."
I always do, friend.
Okay, then you can get the whole thing going. You drive back to Clichy. You get Ivan. Both of you get back to the Bar du Cobra. Here.
I think we may have a misunderstanding.
You're now back here, and you can now go back, but this is the point where I would end the game session.
Okay.
Because it's no big deal. I mean, you know how to pilot the submarine. You could just easily get back there, pilot the submarine back. There's not really much interesting stuff that could go on there.
Okay, cool.
Well, the submarine is really battered though, and some interesting things happened. John Woo, I would like to get back to you real quick.
Of course.
You've been sent to a hospital. The police sent you to a hospital, and I'm gonna roll a D100 now, and I'm gonna roll it on in roll 20 actually, and there is a 25% chance that they will make the connection. And you will not only go to a hospital, but also to a jail. So let's hope that the roll is 26 or higher. It is 26 or higher. You are only stuck
Hooray.
with a fairly large hospital bill that is a wealth level 2 expense.
All right.
But you are in a hospital, and this does go on your sin record that you were here, that the police has had contact with you, but you're lucky enough that they didn't make the connect.
Well, I think that's one of the best rolls for the evening then.
Yeah. Jesus motherfucking Christ. Nothing went according to plan on this one. Honestly, nothing went according to plan. This whole thing, I'm gonna break DM kayfabe here for a moment, and tell you what should have happened. On this sort of street encounter, what should have happened was that there was one round of combat, and John Woo didn't die in the first round. Initially, John Woo, was supposed to wake up with Beast's character in that vehicle. So it would have been 2 of you. There would have been an additional enemy here. Would have been differently balanced. You could have interacted with the NPCs that are in the hotel and the sculptor's shop as well. But there was no battle. There was no big battle between the Vori people and then your allies that would come and say, "Hey, there was Shadowrunners." And there would a couple different approaches that you could have taken aside from stealing a police car. Which, though to be fair, I expected you to come up with something of your own. But if you hadn't, there would have been. I'm going to reveal all areas for you right now. Reveal areas. Just reveal all of them. Or I have to do polygon reveal. I don't care. Fucking hell. This here, in the kebab shop, you would have been able to approach the kebab guy, and for a very, very steep price, he could have distracted the police people by giving them free kebabs. In this storeroom down below, you could have found a earth spirit that would have offered you safe passage through the catacombs of Paris, had you managed to lure one of the police officers to him. And in here is my favorite cunt of all. This is a dwarf who who has built a contraption up in the tubes of this underground thing, and he uses this regularly with his crew to open up trucks that pass through here from above and steal their merchandise.
Oh, that's
so that's 3 approaches that you could have encountered. But to be fair, I did expect you to do something of your own, and stealing the police car, even though it went horribly, and it should have gone horribly, but this is the first session. I'm not going to let you fail terribly at the first session. Come on. It was a pretty badass adventure. All of you gain 1 experience point. And Ivan suffers 5 lethal damage. And yeah, does anyone have anything to say? I'm sorry this was a bit chaotic, because it was.
Well, it was fun.
Very enjoyable.
Well, thank you very much. I hope to do this much more excitingly. But yeah, it was supposed to go quite differently. But it's a lesson learned, isn't it?
It is.
For sure.